What's going on, guys? In this one we've got our maple syrup bottle, good old Kirkland signature. Was just wandering through our local Costco. You know, I love pure maple syrup. I also love artificial syrup, but this one came in a pretty sweet glass bottle with the perfect top for a closed terrarium. So I thought we'd grab it, get it cleaned up after we used all the syrup, of course, and see what we could do. After we got that all cleaned up, got the rest of the stickers removed with some alcohol. Now you can see kind of how this lid works. Just folds itself up and then clamps itself down to seal it nice and tight for us. The very first thing on any closed terrarium we're going to get added is, you guessed it, a drainage layer. So obviously with this small top it's going to be pretty annoying, so I built a little funnel. For that I just used some crushed lava rock. This is going to be pretty porous, which definitely helps as well, but also leaves some gaps for that water to drain out of that substrate. I did kind of get that slope so it matched the front design of the glass terrarium. Ended up losing that a bit when I got the substrate in there. We're also going to get some activated carbon in here. This is going to act as another filtration layer. The main thing is going to be chemical filtration. In a nutshell, that activated carbon essentially has the small enough pore that it catches pollutants as well as chemicals in the carbon itself and holds those so they don't recycle back into the terrarium. Now for the substrate, I decided to not mix it first. I'm putting this dried sphagnum moss in, and then I'm just going to pour some water on top of it after kind of getting it pressed down. I also added some cocoa fiber here just to give it a little bit more substance, and then we kind of got that mixed in together. I'll get a few more layers of everything added, and then added some water so that sphagnum moss can start soaking that up, because obviously we're going to need some water in this terrarium. After we've got a few more layers added, kind of mixed around, trying to get that mixed in. I probably should have just mixed it before putting it in, but wanted to try something a little bit different. We're going to throw in a few pieces of orchid bark. This is just going to give it some extra nutrients to break down over time. So once we got that kind of pressed in, we added just another layer on top of those of sphagnum moss, as well as getting some live moss added. Now before getting any live moss added, we're going to also get our springtails added. If you're not familiar with these, they're essentially just little bugs that are going to eat the mold, mildew, anything that's growing in this terrarium, break it down and turn it back into nutrients for the system. Going to keep everything healthy and alive. We've got those added. I've also got a couple of species of just some basic moss that will get pressed down into the substrate here. Really want to make sure this has good contact with the substrate, that way it stays moist and can grow. Next, we're just going to get some stem plants in here. Nothing too crazy. I want this to be able to grow in, kind of fill out the space, but I do want something that's growing up and obviously filling the top half of this jar. Got those kind of stuck in there. I attempted to clean off the inside with a paper towel. Obviously pretty difficult with the bottleneck at the top, but we got it decent-ish clean. Next, we're just going to get some of this hardscape placed in here. Again, nothing too crazy. Just grab some small twigs and branches from outside. This really just gives it a sense of scale, making things inside feel just a little bit bigger than they are, but again, not wanting to overcrowd it. Just give something potentially for those plants to grow in on and start looking a little bit better. That is pretty much everything we're going to be putting in this one, so we'll get this sealed up, leave it for about a week and see how things are doing. Then we'll show you the final product. And that's the build, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll get you some updates on this in the future to see how it's doing. If you enjoyed this build, here's a few more videos I think you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching.